everyone. Once again, No Man's Sky has updated. I have no idea what to expect. Because, unlike most people, I don't actually pay attention. Anyway, let's see. Let's see, let's go to our... Yeah, let's go to our new game that we've been playing. If you watched the last video that I put up, which was revisiting No Man's Sky a year later, so it almost been a year, almost exactly, since I played my No Man's Sky game last time. And there had been several major updates since then, and I was just kind of wandering around, checking it out, seeing what all was new, and basically playing through the tutorial because it was like a brand new game for me. It looks really great, the graphics are really pretty, the game interaction is really nice. I really liked it. So, but while I was wandering around doing, I came across a crashed cargo freighter that was crashed on the planet. And one of the things we were kind of talking about when we did the survey, and again, I'll have to reference you to Andrew Reinhard's book, Archaeogaming, to have more of a feedback on the No Man's Sky archaeology survey that occurred when the game launched, way back in the day, I guess now. God, we're old, aren't we? Anyway, one of the things we did talk about was doing actual archaeological excavation in the game. And at the time that the game launched, it was possible, but not. Also, there wasn't really anything to excavate. Like, you destroyed everything. That was the game. The game was basically Destruction 101. And so now we have some options now that actually allow us to excavate, and there are things to excavate. Alright, so we are on the planet of frozen everything. And this is the this is the crashed freighter I was talking about. And this is my base. Why am I on top of my base? I'm gonna be standing all heroically. Ooh. Yes. Anyway, here's my ship. I'm surprised it's not like halfway in my freaking base. So what I've done here is I've got this beautiful wrecked freighter. I have a portable refinery that's inside of there, which I actually did originally when I first found it because I was still learning how to do stuff. And so I was using that as a marker. I was using that portable refinery as a marker until I was able to move my base. See, so there's the original refiner. I have another one in here, along with my base computer, which is right here, I believe. Yeah. One the outpost. And, yes, my solar panels. So I've really started to, like, bling out my, my base here. So now that I've got the base here, the reason I did this was so that it gives me an anchor point at all times for the site. So I don't remember exactly how far we'd gotten last time. I don't know how like fancy my gun was at that point. It's a lot cooler now. And you can see here where I've I wanted to test and see how much I could actually excavate and if I could even get under the structure. And I can. Yes. Oh, I hate those things. Hang on while I kill this. Stupid thing. So anyway, where was I going with this? I was trying to show you the magnitude of this ship. So I can't actually take this ship apart. The ship is here. What I can do is excavate into the ground, and I can excavate under the actual ship. Is there any point to me doing that? I don't know. Some of this ship is actually under the ground. I'll show you in a second. So you can see some of the structure actually when the ship crashed, quote unquote, the impact drove some of the ship into the actual ground. And that's something I started to discover when I was just kind of wandering around looking at this ship. Because there are things inside the ship that can be discovered. There's storage crates that can be interacted with. They can be cleaned up and they can be harvested, basically. This sounds cool. That's the ship settling. This is to summon my ship with, if I'm too lazy to walk over there. Yeah, but this is giving you an idea of how big the ship is. That was crazy. The graphics here are just stunning. But by putting my base over there, it allows me to always know where this quote-unquote site is. And I put my base in such a way that if I were to stand at my base and look down the length of the ship, see how the southward point. So my base is technically at the northern point of this crash. This was something that I had to interact with. Yeah, so there we go. That's the name of the ship. The wreck of the MS XXX Vision? XXX Vision? I wonder what MS stands for. And as you can see, I'm slowly freezing to death. Because, of course, I'm on, like, the horrible frozen planet of doom. You can see the structure of the ship is inside the ground. And because of the new guns that we have, I don't know what to call them, the new mining beams. So you can see here, there's parts of the bridge that actually go under, and I can excavate those. Terrain manipulator, yeah. So you can see that I can remove it in order to see it, right? So the nice thing about this is that there is something here to actually excavate, and there is a reason to excavate, because underneath the ground, I can uncover more things that I could use, just for survival and that kind of stuff. So there is a reason to do it. So you can see how the ship's at a corner. You can see how right here the rock and stuff goes in. I would take more of it out for you guys to show it to you, but I am trying to set up a systematic way of excavating. Now, in a normal excavation, a normal archaeological excavation, we would set up a grid, and we would set up coordinates for all of our grids, and then we would start removing the topsoil and the subsoils in layers. But as you can see, like, it's kind of like an all or nothing kind of deal. You know, it's either there or it's not. So what I'm trying to figure out here is how much my ray gun takes off in one go, call that a level, go look, do it again, call it another level. Basically, this is going to take a while. I plan to record the majority of it. I don't plan to, like, make you guys sit through watching it, because I suspect this is going to take hours. The really cool thing about all of this is that might be my other base. Yeah, so this other base that I've got over here, because we can have multiple bases on the planet, which is cool. That's a new thing. It used to be one base per planet. Now you can have multiples. I haven't figured out how many I can have. Don't know that yet. But this base over here, that is another wrecked freighter. It's identical to this one. Like, literally, it's the same graphics and everything, but I haven't started to touch it yet. I just marked it. But I did put a base, again, at one of the northernmost points, so that when you're standing at the base and you're looking down the site, you're looking south. So it is at the northern tip. So I'm setting this up. I'm starting to set up some mechanics here. So my thought was, since I've already started like blowing the crap out of this one, before I realized what I could be doing, I decided that with this one, I'm going to leave it. And when I'm done excavating here, I'm going to go excavate there. So this is going to be our test excavation site where we're going to make our mistakes and we're going to figure out what we can and can't do in the game. You know, what kind of real-world archaeology can we apply to this game archaeological site? This is our test site. We're going to see what we can learn from it. We're going to see, you know, the value, what values we can get out of the sites, what kind of information, how to catalog it. We're gonna learn how to do this. This is our, unfortunately, this giant beauty here. Which, by the way, this is a new thing for me. I'm sure it's been in the game for a while, but again, remember, I haven't played this. It's been over a year. I think this, I'm sorry, this is just freaking phenomenal. I love it so much. This giant-ass ship and this, just the beautiful graphics. I'm very excited about this thing. I was really excited when we found it. So, yeah. But yeah, this is the Radiant Pillar. Hello, my beautiful ship. I can't fly 55. Anyway, very excited about this. I'm sorry that we kind of have to screw one up because we're going to make mistakes, but we're going to record those mistakes and we're going to make suggestions about those mistakes as we go forward. There are also actual quote-unquote alien ruins. I don't really think they qualify as being alien if they're native to the planet. Like, I'm technically the alien. Anyway, there are ruins around the worlds. Like, this planet has a few. I just haven't discovered them yet. I think it's interesting that we can do what would effectively be prehistoric archaeology on those ruins, and then this would clearly be something that is, quote, post-contact, so more modern or historical archaeology. Like, we may not be able to, I may not be able to figure out when this thing crashed or anything like that, but it will be interesting to me to see what I can figure out from it. Whether that was something that the game actually wanted me to find out or not. Remember, the game does now have a plot, this Atlas path. It's always had that, but I guess they've defined it better. So that is the driving story, is the Atlas path, which I am almost wholeheartedly ignoring at this point. But this is the history of the game that the game inadvertently set up. There's a story here. Something happened here. I may not know what it is, and the archaeology may not tell me what it is, but I won't know until I excavate. And we have to have rules when we excavate, because if we just go in and start chopping stuff out, we're never going to know. But this is where I want to leave this one here, just so you guys can see what's going on, what we're planning. And I hope you're all as excited about this as I am. Again, I will be showing you guys quite a bit of the excavations, but I'm not going to show you like all of it because it can literally take real world hours to take some of these levels down. But yeah, so there's that. I haven't decided if I'm going to like hand sketch some of this stuff, just because like I don't know if there's a reason to do that, but one thing I will be trying to do, especially if I can sweet talk my partner into it, we actually own a 3D printer, and I was thinking it would be kind of fun to maybe 3D print some of these pieces. We've got a program that will convert a flat image like this into a 3D image, so it might be kind of interesting to see what we can come up with and create a physical artifact of this, well, effectively two-dimensional digital world. So there's that. All right. Hope you're all excited about this. Drop me a line, send me a note. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check us out on Patreon. I think if I'm going to start making some of these artifacts, I'll probably put them up as rewards on Patreon. So if you're interested, head on over there and we'll see about working something out. And I hope to see you guys in the future. Okay, we're back. And the reason we're back is I want the videos to be short, but I didn't want them to be that short. So let's come over here to where I was excavating earlier. Okay, so what you see here is, this is actually not a glitch. Thermal protection. Once I get under the machine, it'll quit doing that, but this, what you're seeing, is actually the remnants of the pixels. I don't know what to call these. I don't have the vocabulary for this, but this is what the game will not allow me to remove. So all of this that you see clinging to the ship here, this is graphically all I'm allowed to remove. So this part has to stay. Like this edge, I think I can clean this up here, but the rest of this edge, I've tried to remove it. Oh, what am I? Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I had it right the first time. Yeah, see, it won't come off. Which is interesting to me that the game requires... Hey, glitch, what's up? It's interesting to me that the game is requiring some of it to be kept. And in these weird little patchy ways, too. So I find that interesting. I also wonder if maybe if I could get inside the ship at that point. I don't know if I can get that far back into the engine section. What? If it would let me remove that, but... Okay, so it's not letting me take those parts out either. You? No. So it's interesting what... That was another thing that we had discussed back in the early days of the the No Man's Sky survey was, you know, what will the game let you do? How much of it will the game let you remove? See, so there's all that, and then versus that. That's what it should do. So there we go. All right, so we were talking about setting up a grid. It's kind of nearly impossible to do so in the game. There is a way to get into the deeper data here. I just don't know how, so I'm probably going to have to look that up on the internet and figure that out so that I can put up coordinates. It would be nice to at least have coordinates for this because the bases are movable. I can move the base if I need to or if I want to. So you see here I've created a ledge of sorts where I've stood at one point and I've tried to keep, I like this little thing that I've got where it's got the upper and the lower bar there within the bullseye. So I've tried to keep that as level as possible going across. I just don't know if that's going to be... I don't know if that's going to be what I want, or if that's going to be the smartest way to do this. Because you see there's like little bits and pieces hanging out. But it does create an even cut for the most part. I think I can even get into it. Yeah. I've created quite the little cave. Wow, I can really get back in here. Damn. See, I can get in here and I can examine this. So that's not so bad. Ah, and see, right here I've entered the structure. That's interesting. Okay, so we've once again found a spot where I can't excavate any deeper. Okay, so here's the ship. There's the junction of the rock on the ship, and I can't take that out. Okay, so that's good to know. It's the corner of the ship, yeah. And then this is all the stuff I excavated earlier. So okay, it's gonna let me excavate up to the ship, and then it's definitely gonna give me a boundary of what I can and can't excavate. So that'll be interesting. Another thing that I think will be really cool is once I get this all carved out, and we can actually see the ship just kind of like hovering, because this thing doesn't shift. So I don't have to worry about gravity. I don't have to worry about if I undercut the whole thing, it's falling on me and smushing me, because that's not going to happen. So that's kind of fun. Things that would not happen in the real world. But yeah. Alright, so that, this isn't a perfect way of doing it. It's what I've got for right now. I'm open to suggestions if people want to share. But yeah, I'm definitely not going to hand sketch that. Might take a... What are you doing? You weirdo. Quit glitching. I like that it names your base for you. I didn't pick that name. The game picked that name for me. Alright, we came in here basically so I don't freeze to death while I'm here. And since I have solar power, my base now runs on solar power, so that's nice. And yeah, the reason I have my teleporter here, the other nice thing about having my base here is there are things that I need to build and things I need to do, and I can refine things to basically make them more valuable. Basically. I mean, there's still a game to play here. So the good news is we can make flags. We're going to stick it on whatever that is. Okay, so the good news is we can have flags. We could even make them... Make them a color. I don't know what's happening here. Ah, there we go. I guess we'll make them stone flags? I don't know. So, like any good site, I'm going to start digging right in the middle of it. So we're going to start... Let's see, if we put one right here... We are effectively in alignment with our base. Can't walk through it, of course not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 paces is good, yeah? This will be interesting. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Interesting, so I can put it right there if I need to. Alright, cool. We're gonna stick it right here. Alright. So, what we have hypothetically done, maybe, is created a unit of sorts by creating a 20 tap by 20 tap square. I didn't even check to see if this was 20, and I don't actually care if it isn't. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's creepy. Okay, you know, that never works. Ever. Alright, so we've got this laid out. It's a 20 by 20. Because I picked 20 taps. There's no real world conversion here. This is going to be our unit 1. I need to go recharge. I'll be right back. So one thing to note here is that the flags are not showing up on my heads up, which on the one hand I kind of like, because it's not going to clutter. It's not going to clutter up my heads up. Yes, I know, I'm freezing to death. Thank you. On the other hand, wait, there it is. I don't know. On the other hand, it would have been nice because then I could have just flagged everything. All right. So, is that my light or did the big light turn on? I think that's my light. No, it's this guy. No, it's not. I don't know what's happening. Anyway. So there's my flag points. You can see them all. Yeah, there we go. Now we can see all 3 of them. They apparently seem to be laid out mostly straight. Or as straight as I can tell in the game. That's always a challenge in the real world, to be perfectly honest with you, because then there's like a hypotenuse, and I fucking don't know, and I don't care either. But this is good enough, I think, to have a unit laid out. So the next step would be, honestly, to first put this on the grid. So I guess I could somehow figure out how to set up like a tappy thing about how far from the grid from my base I am. Something to think about. But then the next thing that we do, tie this into the grid, shoot the points in somehow, and then take the topsoil off. So I think that'll be an adventure for next time. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this. Hope it's not too long. See you all later.